Hello, welcome to the Journey to a Winning Anyway Life. I am your host, Life Pastor Kyle, and I'm excited about being with you today. Find somebody, share with somebody, bring them in, let them know we're on this morning. Happy Friday. Come on in, let's win together. Come on, where are you? What's up, Royce Sales? I have some glitches, but I'm okay with it. What's up, Colette? Good morning. How you doing? I see a Colette coming in. See many of you. Come on in. Come on in. What's up, Brittany? Dr. Daniel E. Drummond, Dolores Bell, Tyrone King. Hello, Misty. Good to see them. Both sales. Sales and sales is on this morning. Hey, Mabel. Come on in. It's going to be a good morning. Good morning, Deja Young. I want y'all to come on in, invite somebody, go find somebody, share with somebody, share on your page and tell them, let's win together. I'm ready this morning. Come on, come on. It's going to be a good Friday. It's going to be a good weekend. We have a lot. This is called a full-fledged weekend. Eartha Hodge, God bless you. Good morning. I am ready. Good morning to Wanda Carr. It's going to be a good day, y'all. I hope you're ready for what's about to happen today. I don't know what's going to happen in your life, but you might as well just go with it. Hello, Carlos Divine. Good to see you. And I see so many other people coming in early this morning. Wonderful. There are 15 of you on here. 6 of you have liked it or loved it. All of you have loved it, look like. Like and share the post. Let me know you were here. It's a trailblazer, a trail mark to let me know that you were here. Hello, Veronica Galilee. Good to see you. It is a early, wonderful Friday. And it's a good Friday to actually decide. As y'all can see, I'm so excited already. It's a Friday you can decide some things. And so I want to help you decide and help you get a pattern to decide on the journey to a winning anyway life. Again, I'm your host, Life Pastor Kyle, and I'm here with you every Friday morning at 6:55 till about close to maybe 8, just to make sure you get a boost. This was birthed out of a class I was doing some time ago. It was a charge class, and so we got a chance to actually give the class online right before the pandemic and during the pandemic, and then after we kind of continued it with no charge. Hello, First Lady. Hello, Manny Saeed. And so I'm kind of ready to get started. We'll wait on the others later. If you can hear me clearly, tell me clear. I'll make sure I change some sound right in the middle of our stream. And so if you can hear me clearly, let me know you can hear me clearly. And then we'll continue on this journey to a winning anyway life. Real quickly, come on, it's going to be good. It's going to be good this morning. Thank you, Lisa Johnson. She says clear. Maria Alexandria says clear. Everybody says clear. Wonderful. Let's go for it then. Listen, thank y'all for coming in this morning, taking time out of your schedule to wake up to come in, whether you're laying in your bed, in your car, preparing for work, whatever it is. I just want to say thank you for coming in to just fellowship this morning and spend some time and quality time in this place where we gather together to rejuvenate ourselves and prepare ourselves to win anyway. Because in this season of your life, you really have to prepare yourself for what's next. Let me say it again. In this season of your life, you have to prepare yourself. Good morning, Minister Tamla Ricks. Prepare yourself for what's next. And you have to be ready, not just expecting, but you have to be ready for what's next. Because technically, think about it. Life is not waiting on anyone. It's not waiting on anyone. And so what you have to do is, my 3 pillars. You have to evaluate, you have to execute, and you have to excel. You have to evaluate, you have to execute, and you have to excel. You have to evaluate where you are, where you're going, and how you're going to get there. Good morning, Emery Shelvin. And then you have to execute what you say you're going to do. Good morning, Tisa Collier. You have to execute what you say you're going to do. And then you have to excel by doing some things. My mouth is dry. Y'all took my braces out. I tried to put them in earlier, a few minutes ago, and it didn't work. And so, Fiji, send me some money, Fiji. You have to evaluate, execute, and excel by doing 5 things. Y'all ready? Let's go. Number 1, the first thing you have to do is define your life goal. I'm coming, y'all. I even got a scripture for you this morning. But let me get you there. You have to define what your life goal is. What has God birthed you in the earth for? What gift do you have inside of you? I got to go a little further now. What if you don't go to church at all? What gift in you do you have that God has placed in you that he's not going to retract back because you don't do what he says? It's not a fighting thing. It's a defining thing. And so you have to define what your life goal is. And if you don't know what your life goal is or how to do what it is you're called to do, then you might need to get with someone who can help you define what it is by what you already do. You understand? You have to get with someone who can help you define your life goal. Not just goals you set every day, but your life goal. What are you assigned in the earth to do? Who are you assigned in the earth to help? It's going to be major where we're going in a minute. Who are you assigned to help? What is it going to do to help you? What is it going to get to help you to define what your life goal is? Okay? That's number 1. Good morning, Lester Blunt. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Number 1, define your life goal. I'm moving quickly. Number 2, how much time is it going to take you to accomplish these steps? Like, how much time is it going to take you to do what it takes to get there? I have to get from here to there, but I have some places I have to make stops or things that are critical. Good morning, Terrence Bell. That are critical for my success on the way to my destination. So, number 1, define the goal. Number 2, how much time will it take to accomplish the steps so I can stop giving myself unrealistic goals? I can stop telling myself I'm going to get there next week and knowing it's going to take me, hello Facebook user, knowing it's going to take me so much more time. I think that's denied. So much more time than I actually have set myself to do. You got it? Number 1, define your life goal. Number 2, how much time will it take to accomplish the steps? You got it? Number 3, you have to establish your life priorities. You have to establish what it is that's going to be a priority, and then what and who it is that's just going to be important. There's some people and things that are important, but they're not a priority. Got it? It's Tarika Hood. Okay, thanks. I'm not sure why she's listed as a Facebook user. I'm not sure. Might want to check that out. I changed mine. I guess mine is fixed. I'm not sure why. But we'll fix it. We'll find out what it is. Establish your life priorities. Find out what is a priority and what's important. A lot of things can be important. A lot of people can be important. But they can't be a priority because you have goals to reach. My friends in my life are important to me. They are important. But my vision and my goals that God give me to establish is priority. I love helping people, but I must be a priority. Y'all finna get quiet. If I don't take care of me first, I'm no good for anyone else. So I have to now start establishing life priorities. Y'all got it? Number 4, you have to note and balance all your resources in and of your life. In and of your life. You can't hear me on YouTube, Terrence Bell? Turn your phone up. Because if everyone else can hear me, it's got to be your phone. So go back out of YouTube and come back in, or turn your phone up and see if that will work. Sir, let me know what you got. As far as I know, it should be rolling. Note and balance all the resources in and of your life. The resources in your life is what you already have. The resources of your life is people and relationships you have access to. Okay? People and relationships you have access to. So I have resources in my bank, in my possession, in my sphere of where I am. But I need to note and balance the resources of my life, which means who and what do I have access to that can help me make the steps to get to my life goal successfully. And then number 5, the last thing, is you have to cultivate your life relationships. Got it? You have to cultivate your life relationships. Got your Terrence Bell. You have to cultivate them because they are important to where you're going. Cultivate means you have to take the time to put in the most where needed. Hey, Andrea Thomas, and I want to say congratulations to you. Brett, I'm so very proud of you. Cultivate your life relationships, which means you have to take the time to put in new mosh that gives coverage to the roots of what you're growing. Everyone in your life is not for your promotion. Some people are to cover the roots of where you are. Lady Norma, how you doing? Good to see you. God bless you. Sometimes you have to cultivate your relationships. You take the time to put in mosh to cover the roots, to keep your roots from, what's up, V? To keep your roots from being sunburned. So they put mosh there, and in the mosh also is nutrients that will help when it rains to continue to feed what's under the ground. I'm not in everybody's life to promote them. I'm in some people's life just to cover them, to make sure that the enemy does not get to them. Some people don't understand that, so then the enemy still gets in because they don't understand who I am. My assignment is normally never what a person thinks it is. Normally it's what God shows me that it is. And so I won't overstep my boundaries of what God showed me for what you have in your feelings. So cultivation takes putting down mulch to cover the roots, but it also means you have to take the time to pull out the weeds. You have to cultivate things in your life that are not meant for where you're going. Today is the time you decide. I title this, It's Time to Decide, because I want to push you somewhere, because you got to be careful, because you can have the perfect relationship and ruin it by failing to grow into the next level of who you are. You can have the perfect relationship and completely ruin it by not maturing and growing. It's almost like being in middle school. Woo, it's a good revelation. And you're in the 8th grade and you're preparing to go to high school. Someone loves being with you and hanging out and having fun with you more than they do developing themselves. So while you're going to class, they're hanging out but not doing the work. Not doing the work. And not doing the work, when it's time to graduate and you move to high school, they will not have permission to go to the next level. They will have to either repeat the level that they're on or go to a different place. Let's go further. You graduate high school with honors, 4.2, 4.0, whatever GPA, and you're going to college. The person who has not taken the time to keep their GPA up will have to automatically sever that relationship in so many ways, because you'll be going to a particular college who's giving you a scholarship on certain levels, and another one will be going to another college because they've not done the work. God bless you, Linda Kirkland. Blessings. So they've not done the work. And so that immaturity or that failure to develop will cancel or ruin the established relationship because of a lack of growth. And so I want to encourage somebody today on this Friday. It's time for you to decide, because the difficult parts of your life are really over. You've already dealt with COVID and you functioned, but it's time to decide now. Because if you don't decide, life will decide for you. If you don't, if you're on here now, let's agree real quickly. Just type, it's time. Just type the words, it's time. I want you to agree with me right there. It's time for you to decide. I know you've been talking about it, taking notes about it. You've been posting about it. You've been agreeing with posts. You've been saying amen. You've been shouting and running. You've been on Facebook and Instagram. What's up, Trevor? See you today, man, around our time. And so, listen, I see y'all typing, it's time. Because if you don't decide, life will decide for you. I see you, Brittany Blake. Life will decide for you. Got it? So let me push you to a different level. And so when you understand you have to decide I see y'all typing this time. We in agreement now. Let's get it. Let's get it. You have to do a couple of things. You have to control your imagination. Here we go. You have to control your imagination, because your imagination is stronger than you think. It's stronger than you think. Somebody say it's time. It's time. It's time. I see you, man. It is time, sir. You have to control your imagination. If you don't control your imagination, what will happen is things will happen in your life that lead you. I see you, Mr. Daniel Drummond. It's time, man. Lester Blunt Jr., it is time. Listen, your imagination is much stronger than you think. Let me give you a little bit of Bible that I have here. Genesis chapter 11, verse 1. Okay? It says this, and the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from east, that they found the plain of land in Shinar, and they dwelt there. Okay? And they said to one another, Go to let us take brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick and stone and slime they had for their mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. Listen very carefully. And let us make a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. In other words, let us have some influence. Let us build together. Let people, watch this. When you make a name for yourself, people will deal with you based on your name. I don't hear nobody. When you make a name for yourself, when somebody says they're not to be fooled, I told y'all that's what covenant is. When a covenant man who has food bonds and has a covenant dinner with another man who has a history of being a warrior, when they connect, people are very careful about messing with the man who only does farming, because he's in connection with somebody who's a warrior. So we leave him alone. Him and so-and-so are best friends because so-and-so has a name as a warrior. Even though your connections may seem minimal to you, they're majorly important in life, because who you connect with will tell some people who you are. I'm just going. It says, the Bible says, let's make a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. Watch this. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. Y'all follow it? That, in other words, not just what they built, but the thing that they've imagined. Watch this. And the Lord said, not somebody, the Lord said, come on, not just anybody. The Lord said, behold, the people is one. You got it? The people is one. Now, we would say the people are one. But the Lord said the people is one, which means he is a grammar specialist. Because if the noun is singular, then you use the word is. If it's plural, then there is more than one noun, then you use the word are. The Lord is telling you, even though there were many people, there was no plural. They were all singular, of one image, one mind, one imagination. And so the people is one. I've often said, look, if you're with the right people, you should be doing things because they have the message. I realize a lot of people are one, but a lot of people are not is one. Is that good? Are not is one. My wife will go crazy right now. And so, listen, the Bible says, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do. And now, this is what the Lord says. They are one and they have one language. And this they begin to do. You got it? This they begin to do. When they begin to get one language, when they begin to really be one, the Bible says that now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do. You got it? Which means if they can imagine it and become, come on Maria, and become one in it. If you can really get agreement, there's nothing that the devil or anybody can do with you. God says, I can't withhold nothing from you that they have imagined to do. You have to understand where God's trying to, it's time for you to decide God's trying to take you somewhere. I'll give you more. Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 18 says, but thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day. Another Facebook user. Hey, Lady Kenya Robinson, I ain't forgot about you. I'm preparing. Just get ready. Which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day. Which means that something God's going to do in your life that even your grandparents and your parents could not be partakers of. He's going to give you power to get what they could not get. It could have been because of the time. It could have been because of their sin. It could have been because of something different, but they could not get it. But God will let you achieve it. And so he can always say he kept his word, even to your family. So as my wife normally says, I'm going to give God his wish. You should declare, I'm going to give God his wish. 3 John 2 says, beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. As thy soul prospereth. You should tell God, I want to give you your wish. I want to set my soul to prosper so you can do whatever you want to do in my life. Listen, let's talk about this. It's time to decide real quickly. As we enter the second half of this 2022 year, the first half is gone. I told you, release it, let it go, and let them go. If they go, it's totally up to them. It's not on you. Don't carry the weight of someone else's inability to understand who you really are in their life. I've learned some things about myself this week and this last month and these last 2 years. It's been amazing to learn and just learn about me. But while learning about me, I didn't forget what I learned about others who were around me. Okay. In this second half, you must apply what you've learned. You can't just talk about it. You can't just keep saying, yes, Lord. You can't just keep saying, thank you, Jesus. You can't just keep running and shouting. You can't just keep worshiping. You must execute. And without execution, there is no excelling. Let's go. Second half of the year, we must do 3 things. Y'all ready? Number 1, we must be consistent. There's no question about it. We must be consistent or you will end up starting the beginning of 2023 the same way you've been for the last 2 years. You must be, number 1, consistent. You must be consistent. If I would title this area, I would talk about it being the CIA. You must be consistent. Number 2, I'm moving quickly. You must be intentional. See, being consistent means I'm going to continue the journey no matter what happens. And then number 2, I must be intentional. You got it? I must be intentional about what it is I'm doing. My first part of consistency means I can't just keep jumping from this to this to this to this. I must just do what it is I'm assigned to do. If I can't do what it is I'm assigned to do well, I need to stop doing what I see, because what I have is a spirit of comparison. I want to do what it is that get other people accolades. I want to do what it is that gets them recognized, never being who I am. You must be consistent. Then you must be intentional about what you're doing. And then number 3, you must be authentic. I'm seeing clearly now, so many people are really fractional pieces of who they are. And they are minimal pieces of other people and other things. You must be consistent. You must be intentional. And you must be authentic to survive in this second half of the year. The second half of the year is eating people up and chewing them up and spitting them out with no problem. You must be consistent. You must be intentional. You must be authentic. You know you're not authentic when you have to do what somebody else is doing. Let's go again. You know you aren't authentic. You're not authentic when you have to do what someone else is doing. Because in your mind, you can do it better. You're in competition with yourself. You're not competing with them because they're being authentic. They're who they are. You must be who you are. See, it's easy to see something and want it. It's easy to see somebody get something and want to get what they get. That's the easy part. That's a person who's going to wake up and realize that you're going to a 4-year college with a 4.0 GPA. And because they've skipped class doing somebody else's work, they've not done their own. You must be authentic, consistent, intentional, and authentic. You got it? I said it yesterday on a post. Don't confuse the people who are always around with the ones who are always there. You'll always have people who are around, but there are people who are around who are never there. Can I move further? They're always around because being around gives them a sense of connection or belonging to. But when it's time to go to work, they're unavailable, which means they're not really there. Just check their motive. You'll know where you are. I'm gonna be finished. So what do I do, Prophet? How do I decide? Number one, I must decide. Y'all ready, y'all? Lisa Johnson, what I do? I'm just trying to help the people. I'm just trying to help. Y'all ready? Number one, I must decide. Here is where it starts. It doesn't start with you looking at your deficiency. You ready? It starts when I decide to be authentic. It's a difficult thing to be authentic in these days because when you're different, seems like nobody recognizes. But the reality of it is when God recognizes it, everybody else will find out later. That's where I am. I'm in the area where I want God to be glorified and I want God to see what I do for him and then let them find out later. Can I be a little cruel? Because at this point in time, they really don't matter if God doesn't care. I have to decide to be authentic, which means I really have to take the time to look inside of me. I can't keep looking at everything and everybody else. I have to look inside of me to see who I really am and what I'm really doing. I have to decide to be authentic. Okay? I have to really take the time to stop and look. You can't be authentic moving. You have to stop and look. You have to stop and pay attention. Decide to be authentic. Number two, while you're deciding to be authentic, you must decide to be different. Because being authentic is going to hit you some spaces where you are totally different than everyone you are around. And it's going to be okay. It's okay to be different. Got it? Decide to be authentic. Decide to be different. Got it? Number three, decide to be authentic. Decide to be different. Decide to be you. Yeah. When you decide to be authentic and different, you can be nobody but you. Let me show you why the enemy wants you to not be you and why he wants to have you being other people. Because as long as you're other people and pieces of other people and looking for what other people get and how they get it, the influence, the attention, all those things, it throws your relationships off. Because I don't want to have a relationship with another somebody else. If I want to have it, I want to have a relationship with you. And I need what God has given you. Mr. Sales, it's okay to be different. It is okay. It's not okay to be different. You have to decide to be different. It's more than okay. It is you. And if you're not different, then you're a replica, a bad replica of somebody else that's authentic. That's a good saying. It's okay to be different. It is okay to be different, but being different has to be found in the real you that Christ made you. Not different as in freak of nature tripping out, off the head. No. It means different. It means not taking the same road as everybody else. You got it? Lady Robinson say, different is me. There it is. Different is me. Now, here's the point. Let me help some people that are different. You have to look around because sometimes we say we're different, but we've gotten the influence of our difference from somebody. You got it? We've learned something from somebody and molded and crafted. And so you have to be very mindful and careful as God's developing you into you to go ahead and be different what God is doing. But if you're not careful, you'll just master being somebody else and it will look like it's different until we meet the authentic person. Then we'll realize that you are only a replica of something that's producing victory on a consistent basis. Okay. Let me show you why, again, the enemy is so subtly coming after your relationships while you're trying to develop who you are. Because remember, if God's going to raise up somebody somewhere to use their power, their ability, and their influence to help you, you've got to manage your relationships. And you've got to manage them better. You have to decide to manage them better. Got it? You got it? And so you've got to have relationships. If the enemy can deprive you of relationships, he's deprived you of the journey to your future. If the enemy can deprive you of the joy of authentic relationships, he's deprived you of the joy on the journey to your future. Why would you say that? Because he knows that there are assigned connections for your life. He knows, hey Tamisha, he knows that there are people assigned to your life to help you. There are people assigned to your life to bless you. Watch this. And then there are some people assigned to your life to hinder you. What? Why would you say that? I didn't say they were assigned by God. They're assigned by the enemy to hinder you. And you have to understand the value of that relationship. Watch this. In a gym or in your body, you can build no muscle without resistance. Resistance is what builds muscle. Resistance also burns fat. Explain what that means, prophet. Explain what that means, pastor. Explain what that means, coach. The Bible says resist the devil and he will flee. Anything in your life, anyone in your life, because it cannot get what it wants from you, it cannot get what is not a part of you any longer or anymore. Anything that becomes your enemy because it cannot use you, abuse you, or control you is the enemy. Based on the Bible, you resist the devil, he will flee. When you stop giving so much of you to anything or anybody that God can't use to get glory out of and get you to the next level, when you stop giving yourself to it and it falls off, then it is right in season. Why would you say that? Because when seasons change, things that have no authentic root falls off. Things that are not connected to the root. Tree limbs or tree branches or leaves that have lost its I still don't get excited. That have lost its connection to the root or to the trunk or the bark. When the weather changes, it changes colors. It goes from green to brown. When the weather keeps going, it turns from brown to darker. It eventually dies. Listen, be careful of people. Just because they're still on the branch don't mean they're not already dead. Then what God will send in the August autumn season is either a hurricane or rain or winds that will knock it off the branch and give that branch a fresh start. How do you know, prophet? I'm that branch. I'm somebody that have helped so many people in the city, in and out of the city, financially, mentally, spiritually, with all kind of support. Oh, let me be frank. And when people think they know something about you, they want to judge you, not knowing you know all about them, and you still haven't judged them. What's a blessing to me is that I've never stopped being me because of somebody who didn't know who they were. Let me move. If the enemy can deprive you of relationships, he's deprived you of your future. It's time for you now to decide what you're going to do next. I'm of this nature. I know people who think being around me is going to be enough. Being around a tree and connected to a tree is two different things. I'm going to get off here because I'm going somewhere else and I don't want to take y'all with me today. Y'all can't go with me today. Listen, you have to understand the power of your relationships. and what they bring. It's okay. When a person lets you know they don't value who you are, make sure you don't lose value in who you are. It's okay. Yeah, Andrea Thomas. One more time. Type this, y'all. It's time. It's time. My life is not a revolving door. It's a door with a big lock. You have to have access to get in or get out. You ready? Watch this. The enemy knows that you are assigned connections. I see y'all. Tamisha Figaro. I see Manny Saeed. I see. Yeah, I see y'all. I see you, Daniel. I see you, Chris Wells. What's going on? Sarah McCarter. I see y'all. Lady Kenya Robinson. Listen, y'all. The enemy knows that you are assigned connections for your life. He knows it. He knows there are some people God's assigned to you. But it's time for you to decide where you place them in your life. Why would you say that? Because sometimes you've placed insignificant people in significant places. Let's say it again. You've placed insignificant people in significant places, which means you have some people out of place. That means there are two people out of place. The person that should be there and the person that is there. And you have to stop and reevaluate your whole life to decide, where do I place? Doesn't mean you got to call and go off on people. It just means I have to readjust my perception of that situation and those people. Watch this, and I'm closing. Make sure, Geraldine, you're going to love this. Hope you're ready. Make sure you're not denouncing who God has sent to announce you. Here we go. Make sure you're not denouncing who God has sent to announce you. If you need me to go deeper, just say go. You say go and I'll give you a quick brief of that situation. You just say go. If you say go, I'll help somebody real quick. And I'm out of here. Andrea Thomas said go. You sure, Andrea? You sure? You sure, Manny? You sure, Tyrone King? Are you sure? Listen. Make sure that when you're in your private time and you're quiet, or let's go a little further, or when you're gossiping with your friends, that your conversation does not become one who is denouncing who God has sent to announce you. Meaning you are pulling people down to put them under you because of your lack of self-esteem or honor or whatever it is, or your pride. Not realizing that that person has the power to announce you to people. Remember, God will raise up somebody to use their power, their ability, and their influence to help you. It means you don't have the power, you don't have the ability, you don't have the influence to even help yourself, but they are assigned to help you. They can announce you. They'll bring you into places and people you've never met. They can announce you into people, places, and things. But if you keep denouncing them, then what will happen is they will not announce you because you've not put them in a place in front of you. You've not honored them or placed them there or put them there so they can announce you because you've already denounced them. Be careful that you're not denouncing who God has sent to announce you. What am I saying? I'm saying value your relationships. You got it? You have to value them and you have to place them in their proper place. Yeah. You know, that's why it's time to decide. I have to decide. I have to decide. I have to decide to be consistent. I have to decide to be intentional. I have to decide to be authentic. And I go through this process because it's important for me to make sure in this season of my life, I don't repeat the same process I repeat last season. I cannot do it. I must do something better. You got it? I must do something better. I have to decide. I have to decide. I must decide. I must decide to be authentic. I must decide to be different. I must decide to be me. Today, I want to encourage you to do the same. I want to encourage you to be authentically you. People won't like me. No. The people who don't like you are the people who are not assigned to be in your environment at this season of your life. They're not supposed to like you. I'm not here to be anybody's friend. I do have friends, which some should understand is a privilege, because I'm not here to be most of y'all friend. I'm here to coach you. Coach makes you mad. I'm here to be your pastor. A pastor leads you. I'm here to be your prophet. He sees for you. I'm not here to spare your feelings. I'm here to make you get out of them. The attire of your feelings is what have you living in lack of life. Because feelings don't produce anything but unstable emotions. I'm here today because you must decide. This is Life Pastor Kyle, a journey to a winning anyway life. And I want to encourage you. Be authentic. Be different. Just be you. Make the decision to be yourself today. It's time to decide. Came to encourage you. It's going to be a fabulous weekend. Have things planned for today. Last parts of some construction work being done today. Some other meetings today. Then tomorrow, some other things. First Lady's last day of school was yesterday. Just going by the school. She's on summer break, so you're going to see a lot of lives or stories of us and how we're living and what we're doing, what God's allowing us to experience. We may even call somebody and invite you on an experience somewhere. Let's see if you can handle the experience. It's going to be fun. And then Sunday, we're all wearing white, y'all. Blue jeans, white shirts. T-shirts are white, all white. Let's have a sea of white over the whole place. No logos and all of that. Just white. Something authentically, cleanly, purely white. And then after service, immediately we have baptism on Sunday. Going to be an amazing Sunday. And then Monday, we have 2B1. That's going to be the bomb. We're going to have 2B1 on Monday where we're able to come together and talk about relationships. We're going to get into that thing. It's going to be really good. So I want you to make plans to be with us at the church or on live on Monday at 7 p.m. Take care. God bless you. This is Life Pastor Kyle. It's been amazing. I see y'all. It's been amazing. It's been fun. It's been good. Most of all, it's been a winning anyway day already. Take care. Have a good one. We'll see you soon. As I've said many times before, no matter what happens in your life, just know this. You can win anyway. Peace. I'm out.